Welcome to your journey of healing with the Healing Podcast, hosted by licensed clinician Monique Owe and co-host Dr. Amber Mohn.
Hello, thank you for tuning in to the Healing Podcast. I am your host, licensed clinician Monique Owe. I am joined here by my lovely co-host,
Dr. Amber Mohn.
All right, so for today's topic, we're going to discuss envy and jealousy. Again, that's envy and jealousy. So before we do that, I want to go ahead and jumpstart us, get some motivation going, whatever you like to call it. And today's quote is, I don't know where I'm going from here, but I promise it won't be boring. That was by David Bowie. If you guys remember who David Bowie is, if you're old enough to know who he was.
Yes.
Okay, so, like sometimes you don't need to know where you're going. It's not going to be boring. It's going to be interesting. Okay, just talking about envy and jealousy a little bit. Just want to talk about briefly, let me tell you guys the kind of a little bit of difference. When you envy someone, it's usually you kind of want something they have. You kind of wish you had that thing that they have, that lifestyle they have. That's an example of envy. But when you're jealous of someone, it's almost like you don't even want them to have the things that they have. You wonder, why do they have it and not you? It should be coming to you, not them. So it's not even that you also want and idolize them and you wish you had it. You just like, no, they shouldn't have it. So either way, both items, both things are not necessarily good things, but there is a little bit of a difference there, But we're going to talk about what it is to go through that, to be a person experiencing envy and jealousy from people, or maybe you're the person that is envious and jealous of someone else, and you need to be honest with yourself about it. So, Dr. Mohn, I have a question.
What's up?
The people who envy us or jealous of us, is it always a stranger? Isn't that how it goes?
You said, is it always? How about reverse that? Typically, it is the people who are closer to you, the closest to you.
How? Why?
I mean, it could be a sibling rivalries. It could be a best friend, co-worker.
Really?
Yeah.
So the people that smile in your face are people sometimes who are envious of you.
Let's say oftentimes.
Oftentimes.
I have to say it oftentimes. This is just out of, things that I've seen, people that I know, and things that I've experienced myself personally.
I mean, let me take a little further than that, I guess. Can a parent be envious of a child? Is that possible?
Absolutely. And I hate just saying absolutely, but yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yep. I mean, think about it. I can see how that can happen because let's say you had a specific talent. Let's say you go for athletic, right? And maybe you became a star and your parent was going to be that star. But you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. Let's talk, y'all. Let's say your girlfriend in high school got pregnant and because of that, you had to get a job. So that opportunity, you had to go play professional sports, which is probably going to happen, was probably, right? Good chance. You couldn't because you had to go get a job because your parents were not going to accept that you were going to have this young lady out here pregnant when it was you were responsible as well. Or vice versa, you became pregnant, right? Well, you aspired to have a certain career, but you chose to dedicate more time to raising the baby because it was your responsibility. And now that child has grown up and they have that talent that you had, that drive that you had, and now they're the ones getting the recruits and the calls about their athletic ability, or they're the ones getting the calls from universities targeting them because they are so smart, and they're having all this attention that you felt you were going to get, but you had them, right? I can see how a parent in that situation might be envious of their child because they feel like the missed opportunities they missed out on, their child now has them. I guess, but it doesn't always have to be an opportunity that's missed. Let's say that wasn't the case, but let's say their child is just doing way better than they were. And way better than they are. Their child has a nice home, nice life, nice savings, nice marriage, it appears, right? And the parent is looking at them like, why do they deserve that? Now, they won't always tell you that. That's the thing. So I don't know if a parent is always going to be as blatant. Some will. But to tell you, I don't really like you. I kind of wish I had your life. But, I mean, that's got to be painful, right, Dr. Mohn?
Absolutely.
To go through that?
Absolutely. And, when you talk about pain, jealousy, people display jealousy in a lot of different ways. So when you talk about, a parent being jealous of their kid, that could, come out in abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse. So that's why I say I hate to say it, because, the way the jealousy is displayed can be very detrimental.
Okay. Well, you may be wondering, how can I recognize if somebody's envious or jealous? Like, is there a certain thing they do, Dr. Mohn, that you would say that kind of might give a hint that the person may be a little jealous or envious of you? Is there a hint?
Absolutely. Well, here's a couple. When they aren't clapping for you when you win, that's a hint. How about when you need them and they are always conveniently indisposed? Or when they try to sabotage things in your life. When they are always at the root of why something doesn't go through from you, you got to start asking yourself, how is that?
Well, so basically, I guess we got to be on the lookout in a way. And I don't want you guys to be suspicious. That doesn't mean everybody in your life is envious of you or jealous of you. And I don't want you to get so arrogant where you feel like everybody is envious or jealous of you, because that's not the case. But just recognize the flags. Like Dr. Mohn said, it'd be those ones that give that slow clap.
Yes.
Or those that are quick to criticize before they're quick to praise, right? They don't come with the praise comment. They kind of come with the, well, you can do this a little better. Instead of, so you didn't have anything good to say. Came with you can do this a little better. Sometimes you have to watch that. Sometimes it is constructive criticism, but sometimes it is just them really being upset that you're doing something that they desire to do and they didn't get to do it, and you are. And they may feel like, how are you doing that considering all that you have on? But that opportunity came to you, right? Co-worker, how did you get that promotion? Well, my question is, why didn't you get the promotion? We work at the same job.
Right.
So sometimes it's those slow claps, as you say, the rolling of the eyes when you look back real quick and you see the rolling of the eyes, you got to catch it. You got to catch it. Those side eyes, the looks up and down. When you get something new, they kind of, oh, you got something new now. It's kind of that. It's not like, oh, your thing looks, it's like, oh, you got something new again. Okay, well, that's kind of shady. So it's those things as well. And then I also want to highlight, maybe you're the one who's envious and jealous. And if you feel that way, I want you to acknowledge that first, because if you're the one that's finding that you're always criticizing someone, that you always find the negative versus the positive, I'm going to say you might be that type of person. Just being honest. If you, especially someone you don't know, if you don't even know them, but your first thing is to criticize something wrong about their attire, what they look like, how their hair is, then I'm going to say it's something with you, because you don't even know that person to really know how they really are or what was going on, but you were quick to criticize and make fun of them. So maybe it's not that people are envious and jealous of you. Maybe you're envious and jealous of people, right? Because you feel like their circumstances is much better than yours. So before we go into that a little bit deeper, I'm going to go ahead and make a segue here into our situation segment. So I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Mohn. What is our situation for today?
All right. Thank you, Monique. So our situation for the day goes like this. I am a 26-year-old African-American female. 2 years ago, I ended a 3-year relationship because my partner was unfaithful, manipulative, and a liar. I've tried to date since my last relationship, but the thought of getting involved with another person that could turn out to be like the last partner prevents me from letting anyone get close. Healing Podcast, I believe in love, and I want to share my life with someone who deserves all that I am willing to offer. Please tell me how to trust and love again. Sincerely, a broken heart. Thank you so much for trusting us with this situation and trying to seek more understanding. The first thing I'm going to say is that it sounds like you have more healing to do. I've always believed that you have to be ready before you are able to move on to someone else. And it doesn't seem like you are. It seems like there's some things that you have to work through, some trust issues. And I get it. That's what relationships do. When you're in a bad relationship, you are damaged. It is hard. It takes time to move, forward. But I think that understanding and acceptance of what happened in the past, you're going to have before you're able to move forward. And so that can come in the form getting some individual therapy, or just, taking some time out for yourself. You don't have to, you can just date. You can just get to know people. I don't know really, I know you said that he was unfaithful, manipulative, and a liar. But sometimes, you might have to go and ask yourself, what did I see that I chose to ignore? What are some things that I could have done differently? How soon did we, were we moving too fast? There's so many different questions. And if these are things that you can't answer yourself again, I definitely encourage you to go and get individual therapy so you can help move forward. So I think that before you do anything else, you have some healing that you need to do, because you could go out tomorrow and, meet somebody and he could be, I'm not going to say there is the perfect person, but someone that, is on the same page as you. But if you're not ready, it's not going to matter. there's going to be some way you'll sabotage that relationship. So those are my tips. What do you think, Monique?
I think definitely true. Thank you for writing in about your situation. And I will say, yes, I think you need to work on yourself. You need to work on some healing. So that might be with counseling or with a life coach. In this sense, you might be able to go with the life coach because it is about your future and what you want in your future. But if those things from your past are still taking form in your life right now, then yeah, I would say go to more so a licensed therapist or maybe a psychologist to discuss those things, because you got to talk this thing out. Yes, you deserve love again. I want you to trust again, but you got to learn how to forgive yourself. Dr. Mohn said there might have been some things that you kind of ignored and maybe you kind of overlooked them or you moved too fast. And we sometimes do that, right? We see things that we might have, I shouldn't be going with that, but you feel like, well, but this is a good person and maybe I'm being too picky. No, maybe you were being just right. Maybe that was a red flag. So I would say don't compare a new person to him. They're not him. These are new people. Give new people a chance. If you constantly compare new to old, then that's a problem. You need to heal. So I would say be open and willing. Don't be ready to jump so soon. Just get to know the person. Have conversations. Do small dates first, like do a coffee shop, do a sandwich shop, something like that. Do something very light. Go to a museum, go to a park, something where it doesn't require much, because other things require you to be on your best foot forward type vibe. Like if you go to dinner immediately, I'm going to bring my best, he's going to bring his best, right? You don't always get to see those flags. But when you do something very light that doesn't require much prep, you get to kind of see the person in their natural element and you get to kind of see how they respond to things, right? So maybe do things very lightly and proceed slowly while you're in therapy, okay? I hope you do get some therapy under your belt or talk to someone to help you kind of sort out the past issue and realize it doesn't mean it's going to happen again. So I thank you for tuning in. Thank you for writing into the Healing Podcast with your situation. For those listening, if you're interested in a situation segment and you want to send in your situation, please go to thehealingpodcast.com, hit the contact button tab and fill out the form, or just email support@thehealingpodcast.com. Let me go ahead and make a mention to our number one sponsor who is bringing you the Healing Podcast, and that is HealingExpressionsLLC.com. Healing Expressions is a place that offers therapeutic services for you, your family, your couple, your loved one, whatever you may be. Please go ahead and contact them so you can go ahead and get a session scheduled. All right. Back to envy and jealousy. Here are some tips about, when you're dealing with that, what you can do. I want you to recognize what it is. Call a spade a spade. Stop making excuses for people. You see the shade. Dr. Mohn mentioned, those are the people who they're always. I'm not talking about one time they're not available or two. Every time you have something, they're never available. Another sign, every time they have something, they never invite you. You always find out through other people, hey, we're doing this, and they never take the time to include you. And you're wondering, well, why is that? And then they'll try to hold it against you. Well, you never come to my events. No, you never tell me about your events. What you do is you tell A and B, and you hope that A and B will tell me. But what if they don't? Take time out. If you want that person there, you should be inviting them. So recognize that flag too. If they never invite you, that might be a flag. If they never attend your event, that could be a flag, right? Okay. Recognize when people throw shade before they throw a compliment. I do think a sign is when a person is quick to criticize before they give a compliment. I would say there's something there. I think so. Maybe not too deep, but maybe worth observing. Observe. You don't want to accuse. Observe first, right? Be ready to cut them off. Sometimes you got to create some distance. Okay? Create some distance. Another sign is every time, let's say you're sharing something personal that you're going through, but they somehow make it about them and what they're going through. Like you're talking about something way different. I'm having so much stress at work. I don't know what to do. My supervisor is really stressing me out. They keep giving me work and they're not helpful, and it's like weighing me down. And they turn into, girl, I don't know what I got to do. I got to go to this doctor. And it's like my weight is just going up and down. How did it turn into a conversation about you? I'm talking about me. It just shifted. It's not that it kind of segued into that. It just shifted. Whatever you bring up, they tend to bring their thing into it. Very narcissistic of them to put it all on them and versus making it about you. So if you have people in your life that can't take a moment to listen to you, to make time for you, to check on you, that might be another sign of envy and jealousy, and some distance that's needed. Okay? A comparison. Another sign is a comparison. If they're always comparing, like if you get something and they get something, you get a new bag, they get a new bag, you get a new car. Oh, I think I'm going to get a new car. Wait a minute. What? You weren't even talking about that before. It could be coincidence, but if every time you do it, I don't know. But anyway, but to heal from it, I want you to first recognize it. So you need to recognize what it is. Create distance when you need to. Stop making excuses for them. I don't care who it is. Best friend from elementary school, so we change. It's my family member, so it happens. But it's my coworker. Oh well, we can work in different departments. I don't know. My thing is recognize what it is. It doesn't always have to be this big fallout. It could just be the distance. We create distance between each other. Okay. The other thing is I want you to realize, don't blame yourself for what you have. Do not dumb yourself down. Do not minimize what you have just to make someone else feel better. Okay. If you have a wonderful physique, own it. I don't care. Own it. It's yours, right? If you feel like you have beautiful hair and you always get compliments on your hair, own it. It's yours. Own it. You have beautiful eyes. Own it. Beautiful singing voice. Own that. Let them hate on you. That's your gift. So what? If you have the ability to draw like no other, you can just do any image. Own that. That is you too. If you have the ability to work a room and you can just relate to anybody, own that. Okay? Focus on what you do have, not what those people are criticizing. That is another way you can deal with people who are envious and jealous of you. If you're the person where you find you're the one that's hating on people, look within yourself and ask yourself why. Why is what they're doing so bothersome to you? What are you so upset about in your life that you're blaming and upset with them when they had nothing to do with it? And stop assuming that you know someone's life just because of what you see. I see that too many times on Facebook where we compare our lives to each other on posts. That is just a post. So I don't know what you want to do with just a post, which is just a snippet. So that is what I would have to say about envy and jealousy and some healing tips with that. Dr. Mohn, what would you add, if anything?
So I want to just add one thing. We talk about red flags. Sometimes we don't think enough of ourselves to even believe that someone could be jealous of us. We'll say, quick, fast, in a hurry. I mean, I don't even understand. Why would they be jealous of me? I don't got nothing. I own this, I own that. But it is very possible. So it is important when you to sit back, and people always tell on themselves. I love a person who thinks that I'm so stupid that I don't recognize how they are. I'm going to keep letting you think that I'm stupid so that I can see who you really are, because they do tell on themselves. You just have to, just sit back and don't ignore. Don't, like you said, don't make excuses. Look at the situation for what it is. But everybody is open, for someone else to be jealous of them. So that's all I have to add, Monique.
Well, there you have it, you guys. And as you go, let me come back. When you hear those little sound effects, sometimes we have a yes button and a no. And if I really am like, ding, 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 you're going to hear that yes. So that's what you heard. But yes, I thank you, Dr. Mohn, for sharing that. And, as Dr. Mohn, as you said, Dr. Mohn, you have to accept it sometimes. You may not know why. Why are they jealous of me? Because they are. I can't tell you why. Does it make sense? Probably not. But recognize you have something that they admire, they want in it. They just don't have it. It could even be the way you handle life. Maybe they look at you and you never get down about anything. Like even the worst thing, and you're able to still keep going. They're wondering, how are you able to do that and not be angry at those people? That's just them. So if anything, instead of being envious and jealous, ask them, how are they able to function like that? But when it's not the case and you're not capable of doing that, separate. Okay. So I thank you for tuning in today to the Healing Podcast. I hope you enjoyed the show. We thank you as always for your support. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends, coworkers, loved ones, even your enemies. Remember, they need some healing too. It is the Healing Podcast. Talk to you guys soon.